There are a couple of ways we can teach writing in history. And since this is a social studies class or a history class, I've chosen to use the 5 geographic themes as we think about our local communities. But that doesn't mean you can't use the 5 W's in a journalistic way and use the same method as a newspaper reporter. Both ways make sense to me, and I don't have any prejudice one way or the other. So you think about using the 5 themes of geography. What is the location of your community? Is it important? And what is the absolute location and what is the relative location? What kind of place is your community? I grew up in Rye, New Hampshire. It's in New England. Primarily, it was settled early in the country. It has a climate that is favorable, I think. We get a little bit of snow in the winter, not a great deal, and temperate climate. So it seems to me like a nice place to live. But if you're in a different place, if you're in the Four Corners, the Chaco Canyon, what kind of place is that? And what were the challenges that the people in that place had to overcome to create not only a community, but to continue that community in the process? I think about movement. Think of the rivers in the United States. We know old Mississippi. Mark Twain taught us all about the Mississippi, but what about the Missouri and the Ohio and the Kentucky and the Tennessee and the Piscataqua, where I'm from, or the Androscoggin? Okay, these rivers allowed movement to take place, and the seaports and the river ports along both the eastern and western seaboard and the rivers created communities. What took place in terms of human environmental interaction to make those particular communities successful? I think of the development of the railroad. Major development after 1835. Movement. Okay. How did trains create communities? When I taught in Wisconsin for 4 years, I learned that it was the trains indeed that were coming north into Wisconsin and into Minnesota that determined where communities were going to be created and to this day still exist. So the train became an important aspect of community local history. Region. What part of the country do you live in, and what region is it called? We have some interesting concepts of region: the Rust Belt, the Old Foundry, the Dairy Belt, Wisconsin, Minnesota, the Wheat Belt, Sun Belt, Dixie, all of these regions. And how do those regional names apply to the communities that were developed within them? So I think in addition to using the 5 themes to think about writing a history, there's an incredible list that you will find in Chapter 4 that will help you with your community activity. Thank you, folks.